Europe at war for the next 70 years? Who knows? But a defence expert has warned that Europe could face a prolonged conflict that could last decades. He calls it European War 3, but not the kind that most people imagine. Defence specialist Michael Clarke, he was a visiting, or is a visiting professor at King's College London and at the University of Exeter. He says Europe is already in a long-term confrontation with Russia, but he describes the situation as existential. According to Clarke, Russia is pursuing a hybrid conflict using every tool available: political pressure, cyber operations, influence campaign, and, of course, military force. Clarke rejects the idea of an imminent global war. He says traditional World War III mass destruction on a global scale is unlikely. He said previous world wars were universal conflicts at united global fronts. Today's conflict, he argues, are fragmented and disconnected, but they are spreading. And they are, he says, intensifying. So Clarke says that under Vladimir Putin, Russia has abandoned peaceful coexistence with the West. He argues Moscow is seeking to restore the strategic influence it held during the Cold War, across Europe and the Soviet territories, former Soviet territories, I should say. But from Russia's perspective, NATO expansion has moved the security border roughly 1,000 miles to the east, 1,000 miles closer to Moscow, and they don't like it because they say it is a sustained confrontation with Europe. He concludes that Europe is already in a third major conflict. It just doesn't know it yet. There will be a long-term struggle for power and influence, one that could last for most of the 21st century. Russia, he says, is pursuing this conflict by all means, short of full-scale global war. The warning comes, of course, on the 4th anniversary of the Ukraine invasion, and security analysts at the Institute of Study of War said Russia appears uninterested in meaningful, peaceful negotiations. Reports suggest the Kremlin is preparing politically and militarily for a prolonged conflict, and that's absolutely fine by me. Keep at it, because the one thing Russia can't do is a prolonged war, and the simple reason is there aren't enough Russians. Literally. They're a dying breed. Their population is falling massively. But there will be no global apocalypse. There'll be no single world war as such, but a persistent escalating confrontation shaping Europe's future seems to be on the cards. That's the warning. What we do with it, I think that's up to us. But I tell you one thing, I won't be going to fight for anybody. And I suspect my children won't, your grandchildren won't. I'm not sending anyone to die for a foreign country, and I'm certainly not going to send them to die for Starmer's ego. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks a lot. Bye.